Clocking in at 204 pages, I am happy to announce that my independent role-playing game, 5 Acts The King in Yellow, has a print proof. A real print proof. This is a physical object, 200 pages, heavily illustrated. I wrote and edited all the text, and I was the art director. Here we have a table of contents. Oh, by the way, welcome to PhD&D, everyone. I'm Dr. Bowers, and I am really happy about the pending fulfillment of my Kickstarter, 5 Acts The King in Yellow. It's a horror-based RPG that uses the Resistance system from Spire and Heart the City Beneath, but it employs a few extra narrative tricks in order to turn it into a one-shot horror game where the PCs are unreliable narrators of their own story. It's like being in a real King in Yellow story, and all of the character classes, the 10 character classes that we have, are actually inspired by the 10 different pieces in Robert W. Chambers' 1895 anthology. So you've got classes inspired by not only the first 4 and probably best King in Yellow stories, the Repairer of Reputations, the Mask in the Court of the Dragon, and the Yellow Sign, but we also have classes based on Demoiselle d'Is and Rue Barré and these other stories too. Street of the Four Winds, Street of the First Shell. Let me just flip through some of it. You can see this lovely cover art done by Sam Fontaine, and then on the back we've got this lovely cover art by our monster artist Mel Williams. And here it says, as you can see, play as an unreliable narrator. Create your own weird tales by taking up the role of someone who has read the mind-bending, reality-warping stage play, The King in Yellow. Is your character really otherworldly, or is your character deluded? What must be done to fulfill your destiny? Combine the mechanics of the Resistance system with an original set of narratively focused rules. Imagine gruesome images, then interpret them as plans for action. Switch perspectives during the game's final debriefing phase to play with the question of what really happened. Survive your nightmares, conquer the world. Have you found the Yellow Sign? I wrote that, by the way. Yes, and here you've got our company logo down here with a barcode. That's very cool. Right, we've got the, our introduction to the game. So we've got a section. Here's our sort of flagship monster, the Worm of Carcosa. It's clutching a D12. We've got a player's guide, right? And that just sort of gives you the basic rules, instructs you how to run a PC. It's designed to really just slingshot you into playing immediately, right? The goal is for you to immediately start playing this thing. And so the rules are very straightforward for, how do you play. Here we've got a section of character classes. Each character class has a separate illustration by Sam Fontaine. They're done in kind of a sort of a Darkest Dungeon style, sort of heavy shadows and monochrome. But then when you flip later, you go past all this, you learn extra rules. Then we have the Maestro's Guide, or Game Master's Guide. Maestro is our name for the Game Master. We've got, sort of how to prepare a game. We got, there's some of my art. I did collages. This is J.K. Huysmans, right, who exercised no small influence on the King in Yellow mythos with his work A Rebours, or Against Nature. Here's some wonderful art by my friend and colleague Ryan Durney. He's an award-winning children's illustrator. He drew a version of one of our flagship monsters. It's another Worm of Carcosa called the Tragedian. There's our racy picture of Theda Bara from her 1917 promotional photo shoot for Cleopatra. There's nothing adult in this. Well, I mean, there's lots of violence and gruesome ideas in here, but there's nothing explicit, I would say, like gruesome gore or anything. Here we've got, this is our only picture of the King in Yellow. And it's not really a picture, it's a giant hand. But we've got some exciting artwork. Speaking of monsters, Mel's monsters are absolutely... In the section on sample monsters and sample adventures, you've got, various settings that I designed. We've got, like I said, all these monsters that are just beautiful. Mel really deserves commendation for these monsters. They're just gorgeous. Very spooky. There's like a good 16 or so of them. And then we've got maps and sample scenarios. Now, you may have seen these. These maps drawn by Sam Fontaine are just amazing. Right? This map is just cool. They're all very cool. And then after that, we've got some of my own... Oh, God. This castle map. Look at that. Very cool. And these scenarios, by the way, they're full of fun writing prompts and fun sort of imaginative RPG prompts. Then we've got some of my fiction. Other yellow ironies. The appalling hospitalization of Hildred Castaigne, Futurist. The spiritual annihilation of Robert W. Chambers, art school refugee. The devastating enlightenment of Camilla, anti-thespian, and more. I've written quite a bit. This is fiction I'm proud of. I worked on it for a while. And it's in there. Then we've got our character sheets section. Very simple character sheets, easy to use. And we've got a glossary of terms, pronunciation guide. We have an open license agreement so that, you know, if you want to make products for this game, make hacks for our game, and sell them and don't have to give us anything for it, you can. It's a lot like the Merkborg open license. And then we've got, you know, some bibliographies to, you know, list all of the various sources that influenced Chambers, and then all the awesome modern contemporary King in Yellow literature that's out there. And then finally we've got like a wonderful sort of monster collage, a collage of all our beasties drawn by Mel. And yeah, that's the book. What's to be done now is that we are going to keep talking with the company and negotiate an order size of a couple hundred. Then a couple hundred of them are going to be delivered to my house, and we're going to start fulfilling the Kickstarter project. And then after that, we'll see what we can do about getting it into retail and doing a second printing and all that good stuff. But I wanted to give everyone an update. Hang tight. We are about to start, you know, getting the physical stuff, I hope. So keep an eye on our Kickstarter for 5 Acts The King in Yellow, and if you're interested, you can always follow the Kickstarter along and get a copy of this when it prints next. Thanks for watching, and I'll be in touch.